The topic which has been assigned to me is organic farming for sustainable agriculture. As my introduction has been already given by Dr. Poonam, I will not go on to that. And first of all, just throw back into current agriculture scenario or current agriculture trends before coming back to main topic sustainable. Uh, where we are at present agriculture में the present conventional agriculture which is prevalent in India, it started around 1960s 70s with the onset of green revolution. There was uh, quick rise in increase in population, so we had more population to feed. So the agriculture sector or farmers were under pressure to yield and produce more and more grains to feed ever increasing population. And so as population increased, there was a greater need for production. The same piece of lands needed to produce more and more food grains. Then there, at the same time, there was industrial revolution as well as more and more land going to cities, urbanization. So the situation was like that: with less land, we had to produce more, and there was no thing such as ecology, environment, pollution, less use of pesticide. In from 1960s or 70s till you can say 2010, the only one aim, only one target was to produce and produce more food grains to feed the ever growing population. So the agriculture sector used more and more chemicals, more and more pesticides, insecticides to yield more genetically modified crops, use of biotechnology, so that uh, this trend first started in developed countries, then it spreads to less developed countries, and farmers' only aim was to produce more and go after cash crops rather than subsistence crops or uh, those crops which not only give income but also maintain the health of the soil. I will come to this negative impacts of this chemical farming. These we all know: overuse of chemicals. What is has done? Biodiversity has reduced in our soil as well as in the ecosystem. Reduced biodiversity, habitat destruction, deforestation, pollution of underground water pollution, environmental pollution, soil pollution, salinization of soils, desertification. I will explain all these in detail. Then declining of underground water sources, especially in northern India. Then impacts on human health, damage to human health, damage to soil fertility and nutritional value food की reduction in nutritional value of food. So all these problems, these are called second generation problems. These are apparent from the last 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. So these are the current scenario of this conventional or chemical agriculture which we are following or seeing from the last 30-40 years. Now suddenly there is a talk of sustainability. The word sustainable. We are hearing this word sustainable from the last 10-15 years. More and more we are listening sustainable agriculture, sustainable farming, sustainability of agriculture. Every year we come confront this word. But first of all, what is sustainability? Sustainable agriculture क्या है? What is sustainable agriculture? As simple as that. To sustain. If we go by grammatical, to sustain. To sustain means everlasting, stable, which is not for short term, which is not for 5 years, 10 years, 15, which is forever. That is sustain or sustainability. The, the agriculture system or the ecosystem, the cropping systems, which can sustain over a period of time, which can sustain over the period of centuries, not just 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Why this word? Why we are talking of sustainable agriculture? Because this so-called chemical agriculture or chemical green revolution agriculture, it didn't last even for 40-50 years. If we look back, it started around in 1960s or 70s, and now from the last 10 or 15 years, we are second generation problems, so many problems with this chemical agriculture. Although still we are still following same pattern, there is not a big change. But the thing is like that, we if we do not change our mindset, or we do not change our agriculture system, or slowly start changing it, in the coming 20 years or 30 years, we will be without underground water. There will be, our food will be pesticide laden, or with harmful chemicals, human health problems. So we have, on the other hand, we also have to take care of food security issues. We cannot leave this chemical farming as such. We come back to roots and start organic farming or natural farming. We have to maintain a balance. We have to maintain a balance between our food security issues, so that this our population, huge population, doesn't uh, die of hunger. They should must get sufficient foods, but we have also have to look at our ecosystem, or our environment, and our soil health, underground water, drinking water, air pollution. So we have to strike a balance. We need to have systems, agriculture systems, which not only sustain productivity, but also protect our environment, protect our natural resources, and they are good for human health as well. So this is very, this question comes wherever I go, for lecture or for panel discussion or etc. This question arises: do you want all the India should go for organic farming, natural farming? So I repeatedly say, and I say it here again, when we talk about sustainability, or when we talk about organic farming or natural farming, or uh, it doesn't mean we want to bring whole of the India under this. When we talk about organic farming, it doesn't mean each and every farmer in India, each and every acre of land in India gets converted into organic farming. We must do it holistically. matlab, we like earlier our priority was to produce more and more food to feed our ever growing population. Now we are self sufficient in food production. We are not short of food. So like is that, we the first thing, we need food. When we have sufficient food, food grains or these pulses, then we think about quality food. Quality food means that is free from residues of any sort of pesticides, herbicide, insecticides, and maybe it may be raised organically using organic manures, farmyard manures. So the thing is that our first priority is to feed the population, to produce sufficient food. Huh, when we have sufficient food, then we can think about this quality. So uh, all these things I will discuss in detail in this lecture, how we should proceed. Then come to definition of sustainability. What exactly is sustainable agriculture? Uh, an integrated system of plant and animal production practices having a site specific application that will over the long term, the word to see here is long term, satisfy human food and fiber needs, enhance environment quality and natural resource base upon which agriculture economy depends, then makes most efficient use of non-renewable sources and on-farm resources, and integrate wherever appropriate natural biological cycles and controls, sustain the economic viability of farm operations, and enhance the quality of life for farmers and society as well. अगर इस the one line which we used to teach, and sustainability means to take care of the need of the present as well as future generations, without damaging or without harming our natural resources or our environment. We have to fulfill both aims, take care of food and fiber needs, but in a holistic manner, in a manner that doesn't harm our environment, our natural resources. So that is sustainable agriculture. You will find many definitions and many forms of sustainable. But the thing is this: the agriculture system which delivers sufficient food grains with the environment in mind. Then this sustainability has sort of three pillars or sort of three components. Environmentally sound, it should be in line with the environment. Socially equitable, it should be socially acceptable, and it should fit in our society. And then economic feasible, this is the most important. We talk about sustainable agriculture and do this, but as long as it will not be economically benefit to the farmers, because ultimately stakeholders are farmers. If farmers by adopting sustainable agriculture or by adopting or they are not benefited, then there is no use. It must be economically benefit to the stakeholders. Then its goal, uh, the its goal basically is to minimize the adverse impact on immediate of farm environment while providing a sustainable level of production and profit. The same thing, sustain level of production and profit with the environment in mind. Uh, uh, Same thing which I earlier had said. Inherent to this goal is the understanding that sustainability must be extended not only globally but indefinitely in time and to all the living organisms, including humans. Simply stated, sustainable agriculture refers to the ability of a farm to produce food indefinitely without causing irreversible damage to the ecosystem health. Same thing, indefinitely. Like many people say, last week I was in one Khalsa College, Amritsar, one of the very premier colleges in Punjab. There one panel discussion was there with on organic farming. The team from Switzerland, FIBL, the topmost institute of organic farming in the world. The scientists from that institute were there. There also the same thing happened. Uh, Sustainability, is organic farming sustainable? There I gave the same answer. Earlier to 1960s, all the agriculture was sort of organic agriculture because there was no fertilizers available, there was no pesticides available. So at that time we were also sustaining. We go back to 200 years back, 300 years back, 400 years back. Everything was sustainable. This chemical agriculture, which started just 30 or 40 or 50 years ago, that has come to created problem that has not sustained. I am not here talking about because we the people from organic sector, sometimes the chemical lobby or the chemical people, they just ask one thing: how we will feed the growing population, how we will feed. So that is also there, but we have to somehow integrate, we have to somehow balance. Like if we are putting 200 kgs of fertilizer in 1 acre, at least try to reduce it, try to reduce it by half, try to reduce it by 25%. Actually try to sustain without these chemicals, especially in some niche areas, in some crops. Like the one thing, although detail I will discuss later, we can start with the areas where already pesticide consumption is less. Like I always give the example of Rajasthan. Uh, Rajasthan is inherently organic because why? There is no water. These fertilizers, they have direct correlation with water. They need irrigation. If we want to get complete benefit from applied fertilizers chemical, then we need irrigation water. When we have no water or less water, we cannot apply chemical fertilizer. So the areas which already are applying very less quantity of fertilizer, so by default they are organic, we need to nurture upon that areas. We need to develop those areas as niche, because the person which applies only 25 kg fertilizer, it is easy to get back to him to reduce the use of fertilizer rather than the one which is using 200 kgs, like in Punjab. So, sustainable agriculture rules and regulation. The goal of sustainable agriculture is very well defined by numerous organizations. There are not strictly defined rules or regulations. Basically, this slide tells about uh, difference between sustainable agriculture and organic. These are not synonymous. There are uh, big differences among sustainable agriculture and organic agriculture. As far as sustainable agriculture is concerned, there are not defined rules or regulations or government strictness. It is just a form of agriculture where we have an eye on our environment. Then, when we talk about organic farming, we have standards, we have certifications, we have certification agencies, we have set pattern of do's and don'ts in organic farming. There may be some similarities in both types of systems. जैसे like both the systems, they protect the environment, they are eco-friendly, they promote ecosystem or biological cycle, but they are not synonymous, they are not same. Why they are not same? What are the differences between organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture? Organic farming simply excludes the use of all factory made synthetic inputs such as fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, genetically modified organisms. Whereas in sustainable agri, there is no such binding. There is no don'ts in this. You could, like you can use in sustainable agriculture, you can use chemical fertilizer, pesticides, and you can also use GMOs. There's no binding or prohibition. Then sustainably aims to balance between what is taken out of the soil and what is returned to it without relying on outside input. Like sustainability means what we are getting out from the soil, that must be returned back to it. The nutrients and what sort of we are getting, that must be. And are we doing it? No. The first and foremost example is burning of straw. We must put all the straw back to the soil, but we are not putting it back. We are like factory farming, we are raising a crop, harvesting it, and all the paddy residues or residues we burn it and indiscriminately. We are not giving the soil back what we are getting out of it. This is not necessarily not a concern of in organic farming. There is no such thing. What you keep put out, you have to give it. This is not a principle or rule of organic farming. Organic farming, we cannot make whole India or whole Punjab organic. That is not our aim. That that is what we don't intend to do. I started my lecture with this. This doesn't mean if I am delivering a lecture on organic farming or if I am working on organic farming, this doesn't mean we need to make all India organic. That is very small proportion of area that is easily convertible. Uh, Zoom on that. Scale up organic agriculture there, because the areas where we are already getting very low productivity levels, so we must we will also get same level of productivity organic farming. So organic farms at present, they constitute a very small very small, we can almost call it negligible area under organic farming. When we talk about sustainable agriculture, it sustainable agriculture can be applied all over India on all the cultivable land. It is not like that it will reduce the productivity. It intends to make desirable changes in all the forms. Then, in case of organic farming, um, that must we need to be rely on machinery or automation or mechanization and purchased inputs. Uh, if we start organic farming on a large area, that may also face some issues which our chemical farming is facing today. Whereas sustainable agriculture, it doesn't, it will not face. It is sort of different things. And these are different methods of sustainable agriculture, or how we can sustainably cultivate crops. First is conservation tillage. Conservation tillage means uh, to minimize the tillage operations in the agriculture fields. Minimum tillage, it improves the soil structure, aeration, water holding capacity, water infiltration, and also it increases the organic matter content of the soil. Conservation tillage means to do less cultivation and retain the residues on the surface and incorporate all the residues. Then second one is natural nitrogen fixation. All the pulse crops, legume crops like moong, mash, gram, chickpea, arhar, uh, they naturally fix nitrogen through biological nitrogen fixation. Include them in cropping systems. At present, our cropping systems are like cereal, all same type of same. Legumes are grown on a very small percentage of area. So we need to concentrate more on these legume crops like beans or peas or lucerne, blah blah, because they improve the soil health. Then natural pest control. At present, we are relying only on chemical pest management. We need to somehow reduce our dependency on chemicals and increase our dependency on some biological pest control, mechanical methods. There are so many cultural methods rather than only using chemical. Of course, we need to use chemical, but try to delay them as much as possible, because when we use these pesticides, our friendly or our friendly insects, they also get killed, which control otherwise harmful insects. So we somehow include this natural pest control in our fields. Agroforestry, this is almost negligible. We don't grow trees. Agroforestry is a system of farming in which crops and forest trees, they grow side by side. So need to include these trees in between crops, useful trees, like in case of Punjab, we have this popular tree that can be grown on the bunds of this wheat crop. Then this sububul tree or some fodder trees, this must be included. Then cover crop and mulching. Cover crop means the crops which cover the soil in a very less time. We can use in some crops, in between the rows, use cover crops, grow cover crops. They not only balance the nutrient in the soil but also cover the soil, and it has so many benefits. Like in case of mulching, use of mulching, putting the straw or a layer in between crop rows, it saves irrigation of water, it moderates microclimate, and it also control weeds. So mulching and this cover crop, they are very integral part of this organic farming, and they can be conveniently used in chemical agriculture also. Rainwater harvesting, uh, because we have in India so much area and is rain fed. So whenever rain comes, there should be a system to harvest that water so that it can be used for life saving irrigation. Excuse me. Empowerment and stakeholder engagement. We must uh, take advantage of local stakeholders' knowledge, initiative, creativity, sort of participatory research management. At present, when we write a project or we plan something, we include farmers in that. We have local farmers or local leaders or local stakeholders, because this is called participatory research mode. Uh, Research, there is one method of research that is at our university farms and university areas. One research mode is including farmers. That there must we must lay stress on participatory mode of research, so that it will be more adaptable to farming conditions. Then recycling of nutrients. At present, we are only using chemical. We must use some compost, some farmyard manure, some local manures, so that nutrients get recycled. Then biodiversity and ecosystem services. It Earlier, what used to happen at, if I talk of Punjab, we used to have so many trees on our farm areas. We used to have so much biodiversity of these earthworms or microbial flora fauna. But nowadays, when we talk of Punjab, uh, it's very hard to find trees when we go to our this farm areas or what we call countryside, what we call in foreign countries, in villages. There are no trees. Everybody wants to produce more and more, and they are cultivating every inch of land. Earlier, at the place where this water we can motor was there or a tubewell used to be there, we used to have 2 3 canals of area where there were trees like this bohod ka bargad ka ped, banyan tree, and some neem trees or some other species, along with a place for sitting on some animals. But now it has vanished. We are playing with our ecosystem. We are not even thinking of biodiversity. So this should be, we must come back to this. Then socio-economic regulations. Uh, Agriculture cannot grow in isolation. We must integrate it with our local village farmer livelihood and collective benefits in terms of this livestock farming. Then whole system, whole chain of events. Like if we have livestock shed, we have animals, we must use their manures in the field, and we must have some goat farming on our farms or some pig farming or some poultry. These are interconnected systems. The residues of one can be used in another. So, and this must be economic. This must deliver some economic benefits. In the end, the one thing is there. All these things I am talking about, yeah, we tell farmers, if it will not be economically benefit to the farmers, it will not be replicated. So socio and economic concern of farmer is the foremost. So, dear friends, this was something about sustainability, sustainable agriculture. What is the difference between sustainable agriculture and organic farming, and how sustainability can merge with organic. Now, I come to organic farming, the status, the possibilities, the concepts. Okay? I will discuss the research experience of my state, that's Punjab. So by now you must have known what is organic farming. Uh, no fertilizers, no herbicides, no fungicides, no insecticides, no synthetic plant growth promoters. Uh, One question arises: is when we are not using chemical fertilizers or chemicals, we have one. Is that completes the definition of organic farming? Is just by only skipping the use of chemicals or avoiding the use of chemical, we can say our field is organic? No, this is incomplete definition. Organic agriculture, I will first read this it is a system of farm design and management to create an ecosystem which can achieve sustainable productivity without the use of artificial external inputs such as chemical fertilizer, pesticide. You can see the word sustainable has come in its definition. It is not just about skipping chemicals, it's a system of farm design management which from which over and over we can get productivity, sustainable productivity, without harming our environment and without using chemicals. So if we just avoid chemicals and our yield reduces, our productivity reduces, then what is the fun with that? How farmer will sustain? If a farmer is producing 20 to 25 quintals wheat per acre, if we start organic farming overnight and his production gets reduced to 15 quintal or say 10 quintals, that is not economically sustainable. That is not sustainable. So that's what we say. Gradually start it, or conversion of chemical farming to organic, it should be gradual, it should be uh, market based, it should be time by time, looking at it should not be overnight. uh, just a second. Anji. There are four basic principles of organic agriculture as endorsed by IFOAM 2005. Principle of health, principle of ecology, principle of fairness, principle of cure. Principle of health, organic agriculture should take care into the health of what? Health of soil, health of plants, health of humans, all holistic. It is not like health of only human, overall health of our soils, health of our plants, health of our whole community. Then principal ecology, same ecological cycling. Our this it should be based on ecosystem recycling or ecological systems. We must work in harmony with the our ecology or ecologic systems, and it should be in line with them. It should not be against the role of ecology. Like uh, we must not force something on our soil or our land. Then principle of fairness. It is not that fairness. It is fairness means we must be fair to all. If we are uh, producing crops, we are cultivating crops, we are using chemicals. We may be fair to the consumers or the people, but we are not fair to our soil. We are not able fair to our ecosystem. So the organic agriculture should be like this. It should be fair for all. Farmers must get benefit. Ecosystem should be renewed or improved. Then soil must be healthy. So we must not be tilt towards one side. We must be fair to all the components of agriculture production. Then principle of care. We must think about current and future generations. We must not think about only present generation we are feeding to them. We must be uh, wise enough to think on the lines that what we are doing present, our future generation has to feed on them. We must think about our future generations. We must think beyond 50 100 years, so we must use our resources like that. And these are different names of organic farming. People often know what is biological farming, ecological farming. These are different names or different components by which area wise organic farming is known as. Then benefits of organic farming, we all know it conserves natural resources. It reduces pollution because we are not using chemicals or pesticides. Then the food which we are producing, it is free from residues of chemicals, so quality food is delivered. Appropriate use of byproducts of livestock and crops, uh, like the cow dung or the farmyard manure, which is the byproduct of our cattle farms. It is very efficiently used in organic agriculture. And these agriculture waste, our straws, our trash of this sugarcane or all other rice crop, this must be used as by converted as mulch or by using it converting in manures. That must be used. Encourage export potential. The demand of organic foods is increasing day by day, not just India but in foreign markets. So if we are developing a organic farming, then export potential increases by leaps and bounds. Then employment opportunities, how? Because in case of organic agriculture, we are dependent upon the labor for this hand weeding operations, removing weeds, because we are not using chemicals. So it gives employment opportunities over local labor or local people. Ecosystem is regenerated. We once again start to live in harmony with our environment. The systems, like I give you one example, in our soil there are lots of microbes are there, microorganisms, but with the continuous use of these harmful chemicals fertilizer, their population significantly reduces. If we take a sample of the soil from chemical fields, when we test this in the lab, we will find very less number of microorganisms. These microorganisms, the lifeline of soil, they convert unavailable nutrients into available nutrients. They maintain the health of the soil or ecosystem. So when we start using these organic manures, farmyard manures or compost, then again their population start building up or increasing, and that cycle, that chain of natural ecosystem, it increases. Less cost of production, less things are procured from the lab, so from market, sorry. So less cost, eco-friendly production systems, biomass as a renewable energy source. We are preparing different types of these manures from biomass or agriculture waste, so that is effectively utilized. Then key characteristics of organic agriculture, it relies on local renewable sources, makes efficient use of production potential of biological systems. Whatever we have on the farm, that is our priority, we use that in our fields. It maintains the health of the soil over long terms by increasing the organic matter content. Then recycling of plant nutrients, organic matter, genetically modified organisms, they are not used, they are prohibited in organic farming. When we talk about when standards of organic agriculture or certification systems, there it is clearly written hybrids and GMOs, they are banned. You cannot grow hybrid on an organic farm or any organically, they are prohibited. Diversity, biodiversity increase, it increases the biodiversity in the production system as well as in the agriculture landscape, because in organic agriculture we lay stress on cropping systems, cropping sequences. We include legumes, we include different type of crops, we even grow cover crops, trap crops, we maintain a hedge around organic farm. So there is sort of different type of growing over a piece of land rather than growing only one crop. So it helps in a lot of ways. Then gives farmer life conditions that correspond to their ecological role, allow them the natural livestock farming or our this cattle farming or keeping of animals on the farm, that also coincide with the principles of organic agriculture. Different basic principles of organic farming. Crop rotations mean different set of crops that is grown on the farm. uh, we do not use the same crops over and over, like presently in Punjab we have this rice wheat crop system. Over 90% area, or I can say even 95% area, we grow this rice wheat cropping system. And that's taking a lot of toll on soil health and all other this diversity issues. So in organic farming, we grow a variety of crops that include legumes, that include fodder crops, that includes oil seeds. So and they in a rotation, like when we include pulses or legume crop in rotations, they improve soil health and provide nitrogen to the crops in a organic or in a eco-friendly way. Then crop residues should not be burnt at any cost. They must be recycled, they must be incorporated into the soil, they must be used as mulch. They are an integral part of organic systems. Animal manures like farmyard manures, they must be prepared on the farm and used in our crops uh, to make the system sustainable and to improve soil health. Legumes, I have already told, inclusion of legumes in our cropping systems. And green manures. Green manuring means growing a crop, and when it grows up 40-45 days, then we plow it into the soil to add some nutrient into the soil. That procedure is called green manuring. We also use some legume crops as green manures. You can use moon crop, mostly we use sunham crop. It is simply we raise a crop for 40-45 days, and with the help of implements or this disc harrow, we incorporate this green matter or this 4 or 5 feet high crop into the soil. It adds nutrient into the soil, it improves organic matter of the soil. And the crop which we sow after green manuring, it reduces its nutrient requirement. Then off farm waste, we can also prepare compost from our off farm waste, on farm waste, like this kitchen compost, these days, in trend. We can collect, we can dig a pit in our home or at the back of our home where we have some land. We keep putting all the kitchen waste in it, all these vegetables which after the peeling off, and all this straw or anything that is decomposable, it turns out into a very good compost after 2 3 months. For biological pest control, try to rely on biological pest control, friendly insects, predatory insects, rather than directly going on to chemical. Then the thing which I was earlier discussing, why organic farming? It doesn't mean organic farming on all land, but day by day that word organic, uh, I will be partial because I am an organic person. But you people also have seen, from the last 10 years or 5 years, we are hearing the word organic more and more. Am I right? Especially after this COVID situation. Uh, Anybody, uh, have you noticed any change in the food preferences of people or this organic marketing in the last 2 3 years? Have you noticed any?
Yes, sir.
The big superfood markets around, like I live in Ludhiana. It's a, I am not saying one of the biggest, the biggest city of Punjab. We have dedicated organic corners in food stores, in its grocery shops. We find organic everywhere, and especially uh, this, when COVID had started, it has put the preference on health. People are thinking more and more from health. I have seen many people which were not even uh, very ignorant about their health. They are coming and inquiring from me, where we will get organic wheat, from where we will get organic pulses, organic jaggery, these organic other products, vegetables. So I am seeing a lot of this these just sorry. Now it's visible na, screen is.
Yes, sir, visible.
uh, then organic farming, why? Declining soil productivity, there is stagnation of soil. Our productivity levels are stagnant at one place. Then pesticide contamination, there are incidents or residues of pesticide in our food. Then environmental degradation, this is also one of the reasons. Then unsustainable conventional farming, there are sustainability issues and some second generation problems with our conventional system. Then health issues also, like in our Punjab, we have this southwestern Punjab cotton belt. Southwestern Punjab is 4 5 districts there. That area is now known as cancer belt. Uh, you people may have, the people from North India or from this Rajasthan, Haryana must have cancer train. We have one cancer train that run from Bathinda to Bikaner. The reason, different studies, although it is not sort of confirmed, but in that area cotton was growing, and a lot of sprays, lot of pesticide used in that area, synthetic pyrethroids and long residue pesticide, that has resulted in that area lot, that is nowadays known as cancer belt. So health problems are also coming due to indiscriminate use of these chemicals. Increased health awareness among people, the thing which I was earlier talking, health issues. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. Hanji, sorry, some urgent call. Then, when we talk about organic farming, we have basic organic standards. Without these standards or without this, we cannot proceed, or because uh, in organic farming we have to register our farms. We have to go for organic certification so that we can get certificate and we can market and export our product as organic. It's not like that we at our own level we can do this. We have to uh, go for registration with some certification agency and get certified our farm. There are some broad or basic standards like conversion from chemical to organic farming. It requires a 3 year conversion period during which all the practices should be organic. When we start about organic farming, then the day from which we get our farm registered, there is 3 year period which is called transition period or conversion period. It is of 3 years. It can be reduced depending upon the previous use of the land. If your land is previously also was also under organic farming, or though unofficial, or it has high organic matter content, then you can write to the this seed certification agency, no sorry, organic certification agency, and if they find it suitable, they can reduce it. They can reduce it to 3 to 2 or even 1 year. But minimum 1 year conversion period will always be there. It cannot be less than 1 year. It will always, it can be 2 or 3, but at the minimum it can be 1 year. Then a buffer zone. Buffer zone means the organic farming, it must be separated from chemical farming by the use of buffer. That buffer can be live buffer, like we can create a hedge sort of thing with some agroforestry tree which will give us some benefits, as well as create a buffer. Because when we spray or apply irrigation water to surrounding conventional fields, these droplets of these pesticides, they can come onto organic. So a buffer zone is must to keep it separate from surrounding conventional fields. Like earlier said, genetically modified crops, they are not allowed. Seed should not be treated with any chemical. It should be from organic produce. Rest all practices, they are like that of conventional agriculture, like seed rate, sowing time, spacing. Rest all practices are same. But the one thing is we must not use any chemicals. And for weed management, for weed control, we must not use herbicides. It should be managed by cultural practices or mechanical methods or hand weedings. And chemical fertilizers, pesticides, growth regulators, those are prohibited. Mm, Certification, it is a system of quality assurance initiative intended to assure quality, prevent fraud, and promote commerce based on a set of standards and ethics. It is a process certification for producers of organic food and other organic plant products. Simply third party system certification, so that consumers have a belief, like when we go to the market to purchase organic products, if that product is certified or it has been written, uh, it has been certified agency or India organic logo is there, then consumer insurance is there. So certification is necessary to win the assurance of the consumers. Same by certification, third party insurance from producer to the consumer separated by distance. Because separated by distance, suppose the product which we are purchasing, that might have been produced in some Maharashtra or Madhya Pradesh, but we are purchasing it in Delhi. So how we can be sure that it has been produced unically? That system, that certification system, that logo, that assures us uniform labeling all over India. For that, we need certification. Assurance to the consumer that their concern for healthy food has been addressed. Effective marketing tool for image, credibility, visibility, transparency. It is genuine. Then balance of interest. One thing, the organic food is will always be costly than conventional food. Uh, That is called price premium. Like if we are getting mm, wheat, I am talking about wheat grain, rupees 20 rupees per kg, then the organic wheat, it will be around 50% more or even 100% more. There's not fix on that. Some people even sell organic wheat 60 rupees kg, 50 rupees kg. So this is called price premium. Balance of interest means people are ready to pay anything because they want to eat organic food. They want assurance that this is organic food. I will pay any price. Health is my priority. And the producer, he wants to produce because he is getting price premium. Even if he is getting less productivity, even if he is not getting 25 quintals of wheat from per acre, he is getting 10 quintals or 15 quintals exactly. But as far as he's getting price premium, people are willing to pay the price, then his interest gets balanced. He will go for organic farming. Here comes the point: economical viability. Economic viability. If a farmer is doing organic farming and he is getting good price premium, even if his crop may be damaged by some insect pest, or he might not be able to control, or his productivity or yields are less, he will go for it because he is getting the economic benefit even more than chemical farming. So that way, it is like consumers willing to pay price, producer will produce. So in organic farming, the market structure, the price structure, that is the priority. The farmers which we come to us and they say we start organic farming, we say one thing to them: develop market first, because there is no regulated market. You cannot go and sell your wheat in the regulated market. You have to develop your own market. You have to create WhatsApp groups. You have to create niche areas where you can sell, or door to door marketing. Then some fact and fiction. When we talk about certification organic, it's a process claim. It's not a produce claim. Grains, if you have organic wheat on your disposal, you, by watching it, or you cannot say it is organic. It is the process. The certification is for process. The process by which a wheat is produced, that process decides it's organic or chemical. It's not product claim. It's not content claim. It is not like that you can put it into in some lab and that lab will say, yeah, it's organic. There is no test in the world that can ascertain that it is this wheat is organic, this wheat is chemical. There is no test in the world. Yeah, you can check chemical residues. You can check overuse of chemicals. That you can check, but there is no system by which you can differentiate a organic product from normal product. So it is a process claim. The certification agency gives certificate process. Process means right from sowing till harvesting, it has been handled organically. It has been grown organically. We cannot certify a product. Then certified organic products. Then this is sort of operational structure, national program for organic production, uh, that how it works at the national level. We have this government of India, then Ministry of Commerce, then Ministry of Agriculture, then we have this national steering committee. It sets up a national accreditation body, which again appoints a certification and inspection agencies, which are in direct in touch with the farmers and stakeholders, and they the farmers contact these certification and inspection agencies for certification of their farms. Like national accreditation body, then there are accreditation agencies, then we have certification agencies, then we have certified farm, then we have organic food. Then how certification process, how it works. When first we have to comp- abide by organic standards, we have to study them, we have to abide by them in our compliance of them in our fields, then documentation, planning, inspection, certification, record keeping, and then finally when you keep this all record clean and you uh, you compile by all the standards, then certification agency provide with you the certificates. These are different certification agencies in India. In India, over 32 agencies are there. Their list can be seen from APIDA website www.apida.gov.in. Uh, APIDA is nodal agency at national level, Agriculture and Processed Food Export Development Authority. It controls and regulates all the organic farming and organic related work at India level. Their website, we have these certification agencies. You can contact any of these agencies based upon your convenience. This is the PETA, Agriculture and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority, coordinating agency for organic food production and export under the brand name India Organic. So, when you get this certification from any organic certification agency, you can label your produce under the brand name India Organic. When you write this all over world, you will be known. It will be branded as India Organic. These are different context. I will come directly to overview of Punjab agriculture. Our experiences with Punjab. All you know, Punjab is the breadbasket of India. Highly intensified state, 206% cropping intensity. Then we have 100% irrigation. 100 like you can see, irrigated area is 99.9%. All the land is under irrigation. Overuse of chemicals, this maximum consumption of chemicals and fertilizers. Uh, Status, bread basket. Punjab is bread basket of India. Extensive use of pesticides and fertilizers. अब क्या हो रहा है? Now what? Some soil health issues, second generation problems, reports of residues in food products, poor financial state of farmers. Farmers are committing suicides. They are not able to return their agriculture loans which have they taken. Combined with some health consciousness, people these days are becoming consciousness. They are ready to shell out some money for getting certified food, high standard of living, more purchasing power. So all these control to switch some area to organic farming. I have written some area. Try to think of organic farming. Try to convert some area for home use purpose. This is like everybody knows the importance of organic farming. Even farmers know the organic farming is no rocket science, because the farmers, as far as I seen in Punjab, the wheat which they use in their home, they grow it separately without use of chemicals. They have kept one or two fields where they grow wheat or basmati or this maize or vegetables. They don't put chemical fertilizer because they have to use for home consumption. It means they know how important it is, this organic food is for human health. In Punjab, they are scattered farmers, no regulated farmers or niches there. But day by day, the number of organic farmers is increasing in Punjab. Uh, there are some initiatives by government or by Punjab Agriculture University Ludhiana, because in 2017, the School of Organic Farming, in which right now I am working, it has been established to concentrate and expand the organic farming research beyond just this one field. Earlier, there used to be a small section in Department of Agronomy. Now it is a full-fledged department, multidisciplinary department. Then we have this PAU Organic Farmers Club, where organic farming from whole of the Punjab, they meet once in a month. Then some NGOs, some government and organic farming council, then this Kheti Virasat Mission, Punjab Agro. And then I come to most important. Complete shift neither desired nor possible in high input areas. We never say complete shift. Main concern is availability of well rotting FIM. we don't have so much FIM and farming and manure and vermicompost. Even if we want to convert whole of the Punjab into organic farm, we cannot convert. We don't have this much amount of organic manures. So some problems: low organic carbon content of soils for organic farming. The soil organic carbon content must be high. Complex and costly certifications, market issues. These are some issues associated with this organic farming. The way forward: systematic phasing out of agrochemicals. Slowly, try to reduce the use of agrochemicals. Good agriculture practices which combines the benefit of both the system and avoid the extremes. Gap: good agriculture practices. Judi- Try to strike a balance between use of chemicals and organic manures. Uh, Try to reduce in crops where nutrient requirement is low, like to strike a balance. Safe food, we have come out with a term like safe food. Even if you want to use chemicals, use them in a judicious way. Use them below defined limits, the limits which have been given by Punjab Agriculture University Ludhiana. Within that limits, if farmer use, then they will not pose as much threat. The problem comes when we say use 20 grams of this flana pesticide, but farmers are using double, triple dose, 100 grams. Problems comes when they use beyond limits. Then basmati rice, wheat, summer bloom, most prominent and profitable system under in Punjab. Subsidize organic inputs on the pattern of chemical fertilizers. Promote in specific areas and specific crops. Identify areas, identify crops which respond more to organic farming. Research experiences in Punjab. These are the some cropping systems which we have recommended for organic farming in Punjab, for which package of practice is available. Maize, wheat, gobi, saron, this system, then rice, gobi, saron, summer moong system, then kharif moong, wheat, summer moong system, likewise turmeric onion system. These are the system for which we have done research work and come out with organic package and practice. And this is some of the research results. Like when we use organic manures or this organic methods to supply over a period of time, then after 4 or 5 years our soil health improves so much that we our grain productivity, our yields come at par with conventional. Like this in organic soybean wheat system, after 3 years the grain yield under organic system they comes at par with chemical farming. So in organic farming we need to be a bit patient. We need to be patient at the start. It may need take 1 or 2 or 3 years to stabilize the productivity levels, to stabilize. Then it becomes a self-sustaining system. Then even in some field we need some point time we skip farm. We do not apply the organic manure because soil has become so much rich in organic matter that it feeds the crops. Then this is picture of our field. You can see the difference in color. One day this our persons were cultivating the field. This I just stuck there and observed the color. On the right side, the organic field, which are organic from the last you can say 18 years, no chemical, and these are the chemical fields we have to compare. So just this observe the change in color and in the organic carbon status. Organic carbon status is the main marker. It's the organic matter content, how much organic matter is there in the soil. Then I was talking about soybean. This is our field. You can see the growth of the organic soybean. We skip application of manures to this soybean. This I am showing because sometimes people say no, organic cannot compete with chemical. Means you can on the left side you can see chemical field. This happens every year. This doesn't only happen with this soybean crop, it also happens with moong crop. It happens, growth in organic field is so much. So these are the we conduct a survey in Punjab, every year we select a district and conduct a geotagged survey of organic farming and put a questionnaire and all discussion. Then what comes out? Reasons to adopt organic farming. 90%, 8% farmers say they adopt organic farming because of health benefits. Because of, then comes environment benefits, then soil health improvement. So these are responses of the farmers. Then constrain farmers also gave what are the main hurdles or what are the main problems. Main problem was lack of marketing facilities, no regulator market. Then labor issue because labor is costly and sometimes labor is not available at that point of time because we have to go for hand beating or manual operations. Then weed problem, productivity reduction, all these were other constraints. Then we talk of Punjab. In Punjab, if it, these are just two, three crops and their prospects. Like when we talk about basmati rice, it performs very good under organic farming, but it doesn't have market premium. Nahi milta, it doesn't get premium. It produces higher yield under organic farming, but it doesn't sell. Market nahi hai because uh, basmati rice is not a food of people of Punjab. They prefer chapati or wheat. Rice is consumed very high. Then we come to soybean. In soybean also yields are very good, but same premiums are absent. Market is not there. Then summer moon bean. Summer moon bean has both account. It also performs very well under organic farming. It and also gets premium. It sells very fast. So the summer moon is a very good option. But the thing is that it is productivity pulses key. It has low productivity. Then wheat. Wheat. What happens in wheat? If we grow wheat in with cereal cropping system, yields are less. In wheat, even after 10-15 years, in wheat में हमारा productivity level बराबर नहीं आ रहा. But it gets very good premium. Its premium covers up everything because wheat is mainly consumed by main preparatory food है. So this one is this haldi organic turmeric. It is organic by default, where performs very good under organic farming, but it has limited market. Trust area yield improvement in organic. Then I think I will skip some of the slides. When we come to conclusion, what we conclude? Organic farming not applicable across the board. Identify specific areas and specific crops. First step adoption can come from organic food grown from home consumption. The farmer which comes to us, we say to at least start from home consumption. At least grow kitchen gardening. Nowadays we have given this rooftop gardening model. At least for home purpose, avoid chemicals. Upscaling would come from the market demand coupled with price premium. Upscaling आएंगी when market oriented. When market will develop, demand will come, its area will definitely increase. Safe food produced under a regulatory system can serve as an alternate approach. Like safe food is somewhat in between chemical food and organic food. If we cannot prohibit farmers from using chemicals, at least we can guide them to use in prescribed limits so that the food which they produce it can be termed as safe. Overuse नहीं होना चाहिए. So people say organic farming is do nothing farming. It doesn't use any chemicals, but rather it is a do everything farming, but in tandem with the nature. And you cannot solve the problem with the same kind of thinking that created the problem. There is a need to change the mindset. When mindset of farmers will change, there is nothing that organic farming cannot be done. It is not sustainable. Like if we think we can raise the crops organically, then we must. The farmers, they can do it. Thinking perception must be changed. Thank you very much.